How's it going, agents? So Backfire has been overwhelming for this year 7 season 1. It's been going wild. You can see a lot of people coming out with a lot all sort of builds. So I decided to come out with my own build too. So for a disclaimer, this build may have been reviewed, but if you are seeing this for the first time, I hope it helped you and I hope you enjoy and have fun. So I have two builds. So the first build that we are going for is with Hunter's Fury. So before we go on with this, let me show you the stats. So this is the stats without any modifier tier. So we have 50% crit chance, 97% crit hit damage, and on the defense we have 100% bleed resistance, and everything else is at 82.5%. All right, let's check it out how this goes. All right, that went pretty well. All right, let's talk about the build. So that was the build, and now we have the full tier for the modifier at tier 5. Right, so this is a Hunter's Fury build for Backfire. So the build consists of 4 pieces of Hunter's Fury. So what does Hunter's Fury gives us is 15% on shotgun damage, 15% on SMG damage, and 20% armor on kill, and 50% health on kill. And what the bonus that it comes with it is the apex predator, where enemies within 15 meter will receive a debuff and it will amplify your weapon damage. So when you kill a debuff enemy, other enemies within 5 meter will get disoriented. So on the specialization, I am using the gunner specialization, where it gives me more armor on kill and also rate of fire. On the primary weapon, it is the primary weapon that we are talking about for this build, the Backfire Exotic SMG, which you can get it just about everywhere, from the open world, from the loot target, from the summit, or even the countdown. And also you may get it from the seasonal priority objective reward. Alright, so what does this Backfire do? So this Backfire comes with the talents of payment in kind, where it dealing damage to enemies at a stack of 2% critical hit damage. The stack goes up to 100 stacks, and each stacks will increase your weapon damage. But it also comes every time you reload, it will apply a 10-second bleed to yourself. And this is what this build is all about, to prevent you get bleeding every time you reload the weapon. So on the secondary weapon, I have my rock and roll shotgun. You may also use ACS-12 shotgun with your preferred talents, whichever it is that you like. And for the pistols, same goes with the pistol. You may use any pistol that you want. As for me, I have the tactical M1911 here, where I was testing on this finisher talents. All right, going on to the armor. So on the armor, I have the Hunter's Fury. On the mask, I have the Hunter's Fury mask that I roll on the weapon damage, the red core attributes, and it comes with hazard protection and also bleed resistant mod. So when it comes to these Hunter's Fury pieces, you want to farm the pieces that comes together with hazard protection. It makes your life much easier. And then you can roll on the core attribute, whichever that you prefer, whether you want a blue or you want a red.
Agent requesting backup.
How many blue you need in this build. So moving on to the chest piece, I have a Grupo chest piece with a red core, and it comes with a crit hit damage and hazard protection, and I put on a crit damage mod. So, and it comes together with intermediate talents. So intermediate talents, the way how the intermediate talents works is that it creates stacks, and each stacks will increase your weapon damage when you receive bonus armor. Hence to why we are using the Memento backpack, where Memento backpack gives us bonus armor, and aside from that, it also gives you a weapon damage bonus and skill efficiency every time when you collect the trophies. And Memento backpacks comes with the core attributes, all 3 core attributes, red, blue, and yellow. And on the mod, I add in the another bleed resistance. On the holster, I have another Hunter's Fury piece. It comes with blue core and hazard protection. On the glove, single with the glove, blue core and hazard protection. And on the knee pad, also a blue core and hazard protection. On the skills, I am using Crusader ballistic shield that comes together with shield health, and hosted regen. And on my secondary skills, I have the Reviver Hive with steam efficiency, stinger charges, and health. All right, let's take a look on the modifiers that I'm using. So the modifier on the active modifier that I'm using, I am using the assault link, which gives me more weapon damage. And on the passive modifier, I have the main passive modifier that you want to have in this build is the safety first, where it gives you additional hazard protection. So this passive modifier gives you increase in 7.5% for each stamina tier. So you have each tier, it will give you 7.5% and right up to 5 times 5, right? And that on the second modifier right here, I have the load up where it will increase our crit damage from the 25% out of the crit chance. And last, the third passive modifier, I am using the best kind of defense, where what they give us, at least at tier 3, both firearms and stamina gain 2.5% headshot damage for every 100,000 total armor you have. So this gives me a slight additional headshot damage. Alright, then we get on and we take a look at the stats. So right now we already gained 5 tier on the modifiers. As you can see, the stat has increased. So on the weapon with damage, we have around 113,000 damage. On the crit chance, it has increased for 50%. It goes up to 56%. That's pretty good. And on the crit damage, we have 111%. And on top of that, we have additional 105 headshot damage that comes from the modifier. All right, looking at on the defense, hold on. All right, as you can see here, our bleed resistance still stay as at 100% from the fact that it actually already gone beyond 100%. Just that it is capped to 100%, where else everything else has increased. It goes up to 97.5%, which is more than 95%, which is more than what you need, and it will gives you the immunity from any status effects. All right, next we move on to the second build that I have put on together. It is the striker build for striker enjoyer. So before we go on, let's take a look on the stats. We have no modifier tier at this point. So on the crit chance, we have 50%. On the crit damage, we have 97%. And when we look into the defense, we do have the 100% on the bleed resistance, and everything else is at 82.5%. All right, let's go on. Let's see how this goes. Alright, the turret is down. Alright, we have built up our stacks. Swap weapon. And these guys are going down. Your guys are done. Where's the rest of them? we got big guy. The big guy is down. What's our friend here? All right, that was pretty good.
Detecting additional hostile contacts. Hostile supply convoy nearby.
Yeah. Relax.
Heavily armored hostile detected.
Let's chase these guys down.
Reinforcements have arrived.
Ouch. All right, all cleared. And we have tier 5 modifiers. Let's take a quick look on this striker build.
Supply room access.
Right, never mind. You know what? Let me clear this and I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Just happened that while I was talking about the build and there was a resource convoy. Okay, everything else about the build is the same. We are using the same primary weapon, same secondary weapon, same goes with the pistol. The only difference is that we do have, of course, we do have the 4 pieces of striker. Just that the setup is slightly different. We are using the chest piece, the striker chest piece. All right. So I don't think I need to talk about everything else. I just have to get on to the striker piece. So on the we are using the striker mask, striker piece mask, which comes with blue core, hazard protection, and bleed resistant. Basically, the whole setup is almost similar, where you need to have hazard protection on every piece, and I do add the 2 mods of bleed resistance, one on the mask and the other one is on our memento. On the memento, for of course, for the survivability. Both of the build has survivability, which are the things that I prioritize more. So on the chest piece, why we are using the chest piece, reason being is that on the chest piece, striker chest piece gives us 200 stacks. Without the chest piece, you only gain 100 stacks. With the chest piece, you gain up to 200 stacks. It's just that it takes a little bit more time to build up the stack. That's why when you see the gameplay just now, you can see that when I start off with my shotgun, my rock and roll shotgun, to build up the stacks. It is a lot faster in that way. So yeah, that's how it is. And on the holster, another piece of striker with blue core and hazard protection on, and the last piece is on the glove. We also with a blue core and hazard protection. Another additional piece that I have here is the Grupo knee pad. So I add on the Grupo knee pad, which give us 13% crit damage, together with a raid core, and it comes with hazard protection and crit damage. So everything else on the skill is still the same. It is still the Crusader Ballistic Shield, the Reviver Hive, and let's move on to, even the modifier is still the same. I am using the Assault Link for the additional damage. I have the Safety First for the additional hazard protection loaded up for the extra crit damage, and also the best kind of defense, which give us additional headshot damage. All right, looking at the stats after getting the 5 tier. In before I showed you without any tier, and now we already have the modifier tier. Crit chance is sitting at 56%. Crit damage has gone up to 111%, and we also have the headshot damage with 110%. And looking at the defense, bit resistance still at 100%, and everything else, all the status effects, status resistance and hazard protection is at 97.5%, which I already mentioned before. It is more than 95%, and you are practically immune to all status effect. So basically that is all about the build. Do give it a try, tell me about it. I hope you like it and have fun. You know, if you have any questions, any suggestion or recommendation, do drop in that in the comment. Do drop that like and subscribe. I appreciate you guys very much. So stay frosty. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.